Hey, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at some of the stocks that were in play today. Okay, so first up is RIOT, R-I-O-T. RIOT blockchain closed up 9% today. So yeah, congrats to everybody that caught the video yesterday, signaling the chart was heating up. So this is really nice follow through. RSI now is above 50, so you want to see RSI stay above 50 if you are a bull. Fasto at 74 and in the bull zone. Check out the bullish crossover on ADX with plus DI crossing minus DI to the upside. So today the bullish move was the close above the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 1616. That is the key level to hold. Notice there is a small gap, it looks like very small, between yesterday's high of day and today's low of day. So keep that in mind. There is also a gap between these two candles as well. So there are a couple gaps in the chart. Right now it's all about staying above 16. If it can hold that 16 support level, the next target's going to be the 50-day simple moving average at 2094 and that upper Bollinger Band at 2180. If this middle Bollinger Band turns into support, a new uptrend could begin. Similar to back here in November when there was a close above the middle Bollinger Band on the 15th of November, and then notice the uptrend that followed. The candles stayed above the dotted purple line. A downtrend started when the candles closed below this middle Bollinger Band, which is also the 20-day simple moving average, and you can see a very long downtrend started, okay, and continued until today. Today was the first close above that dotted purple line since the close below down in January. This is signaling a bullish change in trend. Also, these green dots flipping below the candles, that's parabolic SAR. SAR stands for stop and reverse. So it's signaling a possible downtrend is stopping and a possible uptrend is beginning. Now keep in mind there are 5 green volume bars in a row, so it could take a breather at any time. If you look back here though, it has had a history. There were 7 green volume bars in a row back in that November run. So it has had multiple days in a row being up. It has done this in the past. Notice the bull cross on MACD on both time frames. So all the signals are pointing to the chart really heating up. It looks like it wants to head higher, just has to hold that middle Bollinger Band. RIOT does trade options. As you can see, the call options were up today. Having that nice 9% move, you would have thought that they would have been up a little larger, but they weren't. But still nice gains nonetheless. And then as you can see here, the leaps were returning nice gains as well. It's a big gain for January 17th, 2020 at 65 leap. There's some interest showing up here. So yeah, so keep an eye on RIOT. Okay, take a look at GROW, closed up nearly 11% here. And so this is trying to reverse out of this long downtrend. Notice that this looks like a falling wedge pattern. There's descending resistance and descending support, and they're coming together, and one of the two levels we're going to break, and it looks like there's a break above that red descending resistance line today. If it can turn that level into support, you notice it closed above the pink and green lines. That's EMAs 4 and 8. If it can turn those levels into support, stay above 326, and then break this gold line. That's the 100-day simple moving average at 343. A close above that level would be extremely bullish. It's been resistance since the candles have been forming below, and then it has to get above this middle Bollinger Band at 356. If you see a close above that level, that could be the signal to start of a new uptrend, similar to back here on November 20th. If you look over here to the left side of the chart, there was a close above the middle Bollinger Band and a very strong uptrend followed. So yeah, this broke down, when the middle Bollinger Band broke back over here on the 8th of January, it tried to hold that middle Bollinger Band support level. And so, we're looking for a close back above the middle Bollinger Band to signal the possible start of a new uptrend. This is just right now a short cover rally. It has to break resistance to head higher. Notice volume is very, very light, so it needs a bigger volume. Okay, take a look at LFIN. This is LFIN Corporation. I've been posting some charts on this, and it's really interesting. It's heating up. I mean, it trades at $38 a share. It was up 13% today. Notice the volume. Not a lot of volume, but people are buying at this level. It's at 55 on RSI, and now look at Fasto at 57. Check out the bull cross on ADX with plus DI crossing ADX to the upside. And so today, it had that bullish move that we had been talking about that we were looking for, and that was the close above EMA 4. Notice how the candles had been below that level for an extended period of time. Over on the 22nd of January, it got above EMAs 4, 8, and 13 and failed to hold those levels and pulled back for multiple weeks. Well, today was the first close above that orange line, and then EMAs 4 and 8, the pink line and orange line since back here on the 22nd of January. So if it can stay above these levels, that would be very bullish. And then the next key level to break is that dotted purple line, which is the middle Bollinger Band currently at 39.22. So if you see LFIN closing above that middle Bollinger Band, that's going to be super bullish. I mean, this is a thinly traded stock, and you know, right now it's moving on very light volume. Look at the volume bars down here, but people are able to take it higher. It's all going to come down to that middle Bollinger Band. You know, above that 39 level is going to signal more upside potential. Fail to break 39, and that'll signal a temporary top. Notice that down here on the 8, 13, and 5 MACD, you have the very first bullish crossover in the history of the trading of the stock. So yeah, that's another signal the chart is heating up. And there was a parabolic SAR bullish flip last week. Notice how the green dots were above the candles and they flipped below last week. This has been trading just since back here in December. So this is a new stock. And you know, the recent high, you know, close was way up here at this 70, $2 level. So yeah, so just keep that in mind. Keep an eye on it. You know, it's just a sign that with Bitcoin has been heading higher, the cryptocurrencies has been heading higher. I'm not sure if you saw the cryptocurrency video I posted last night, but you know, they're heating back up, and so the crypto stocks are getting a bid as well. Okay, let's look at ICON. You know, closed up 38% today. Nice move. 63 on RSI, 65 on Fasto, bull cross on ADX, and so this had a nice gap up open above the 50-day simple moving average. That's the green line at 139. Currently the key level to hold. The last couple times it closed above that level in January, it failed to hold that level and pulled back. So we're looking for a bullish change in trend for that level to hold. Notice there was a long upper wick on today's candle, so there was profit taking off this $2 resistance zone. Notice that back here in November on the bounce, you know, it hit that resistance level and pulled back. If it can get above 2, then the next level to break is going to be this high close in November and the 100-day simple moving average at 262. Now today's candle did close above the upper Bollinger Band, and if you look back in here in January when that happened, the candles work back into the bands. If they do work back into the bands, you really want to see that 160 level hold. That's the closing price here on the 18th of January. If it drops below that, then it's likely to come down and test that 50-day simple moving average and middle Bollinger Band at 136. It needs to hold those levels to keep the uptrend going. Notice there was a big volume spike today. This stock has a tendency to form red candles after big volume spikes. You know, notice here, big green volume spikes, so just keep that in mind. Okay, look at the ICON 15-minute chart. It's hanging on to middle Bollinger Band support here. It needs to hold that 174 level. Okay, so this 173 right here, this dotted purple line, if it can stay above that, then it needs to get above this. Okay, so you can see it closed above high close resistance at 3 o'clock, and so that 192.5, and then it's this closing price here at 3 o'clock is going to be the big level to break. If it can close above that, that signals it wants to head higher. If it can get above that 195 level. Now, if the middle Bollinger Band in 173 fails to hold, you could see it pull back and test that low close today down here around 160 or so. And if that breaks, then you're looking at the 50 simple moving average down here at 148.5. Okay, let's take a look at HUSA. Closed up 24% today. So this was a really nice move. We've been keeping an eye on the energy penny stocks, and some of them have been heating up. So keep an eye on that sector. You know, it's been really beaten up, and you know, some of them are getting a bid. We've got HUSA here above 50 on RSI, above 60 on Fasto, and then you have the bullish crossover in ADX. When the green line crosses the red and the black line to the upside, you know, that's a sign the bulls are taking control. Today the big move was the close above this green line. That's what we were looking for. You know, it had traded above that intraday. We had put out alerts in the chat, and yeah, you know, highly recommend coming and checking out the chat. We put out lots of alerts and charts all through the trading day, and today there was a nice close of, you know, move above that level, but it needed to close above to signal a bullish change in trend. Notice over here it tried to break the 50. Here it tried to break the 50. You know, on multiple occasions it's tried to break that green line with the close above, and it failed, and the downtrend continued. So today is what we call a bullish change in trend. If it can stay above 32.6 and hold that middle Bollinger Band at 31, a new uptrend should begin. Now, if it drops below the 50-day simple moving average, it's going to be a red flag, and you could get this kind of thing going on where it just consolidates. It has to be above the green line for this to be a good play. Now, you could see the upper wick hit the zone, the next resistance zone to break. You know, it hit that upper Bollinger Band at 365 and pulled back, but the big level to break is this 100 and 300-day simple moving averages, this 38, 39 resistance zone. That's going to be the next big target. If it can get above that, then you're looking at the 200-day simple moving average at 46. Notice the big volume spike. There was a PSAR bull flip. The green dots are below the candles. You've got the MACD bull cross on the 8, 13, and 5 then it's pinched here on the 12, 26, and 9. Okay, look at IMGN. Closed up 18% today. This is a breakout play. So this stock has a super nice uptrend. We've been posting alerts on this, just giving updates. Yeah, nice moves, broke higher. It's still riding EMA 4 and 8 support, nice uptrend, those kind of alerts, and it just keeps cruising higher. People always ask, what's a good swing trade chart that I can just ride for a while. This is the type of chart that you're looking for. The candles broke above all the moving averages here on the 13th of December, and the candles have been staying above this entire time. So as long as the candles are riding EMA's 4 and 8 support higher above the 300, 200, 100, 50, and 20-day simple moving average, the signals to keep on riding for your longer-term swing trade, if that's the type of play that you're looking for. And so today it's breaking out higher. Notice the big push through that upper Bollinger Band. If the candles do work back into the band, you want to see that EMA 4 hold for maximum bullishness. As long as the middle Bollinger Band at 871 holds, this uptrend is intact. Now take a look at the weekly chart. When a stock's breaking out, we like to look at further out in the chart, longer time frame, to be able to see the next resistance levels. And so I like to go from the daily to the weekly. Sometimes you have to go out to the monthly chart, because the further you go out, it smooths out the data. It makes the chart easier to read. And also you get to find, many times you'll find the next key resistance levels. And this is a perfect case in point. Okay, so this is the IMGN weekly chart. Each candle represents 1 week of trading. And you can see the key resistance level that it's hitting this week. Okay, this week's candle is currently breaking through this blue line. What is that line? That's the 300-week moving average at 1031. Now, this week's candle will not set until the closing bell on Friday, so it has to, a lot can change between now and then. This is the first trading day of the week. This candle could run up, form a long upper wick. It could close below, could close above. The whole key for this to be to signal that it wants to head higher is a close above that blue line. Notice the blue line is lined up over here with the key support level from back here in 2015, and so that's going to be a big level to break. And then if it can get through that resistance, you could see it's going to be all about this 2015 resistance zone here, getting through that 11 through 13 zone. And yeah, it's going to come down this week though, all down to that 300-day simple moving average. So above 1031 for the week signals that it wants to keep heading higher, and below could signal that it might consolidate. As long as EMA 4 at 945 is holding this pink line, the chart is super strong. Notice that the candles have been riding EMA 4 support for multiple weeks, and so this has been in a really nice uptrend. This has been a very nice play since back down here in the beginning of 2017. Okay, let's look at CRMD. Okay, closed up 18% today, making a nice move. You have RSI at 58, Fasto up here at 82. There was a bullish crossover on 80X. Now this has this descending triangle pattern, and today there was a PSAR bull flip, so the green dots are below the candles, and there was a close today above the dotted purple line and the red line, which is the middle Bollinger Band and the 200-day simple moving average. So this is signaling a possible start of a new uptrend, and it also closed above this red line, which is this multi-month descending resistance line. So if it can stay above 52, it could signal the possible reversal of this multi-month pattern. Now notice that the candle did close right at that green line, which is the 50-day simple moving average at 53, and the upper wick hit that 100-day simple moving average at 54. So going forward, above 54 signals it wants to head higher. Failed to break 54 could signal consolidation. It needs to hold that middle Bollinger Band and 200-day simple moving average to be a good play. So it's really heating up. It just has to follow through. There was a nice volume bar today, and MACD is starting to heat up with the the MACD line breaking out on both time frames. Okay, let's look at CPHI. This is one of the China plays. You want to see RSI break above 50 if you're a bull. Just keep an eye on this. Notice that it has this long downtrending channel. They've walked this thing down on super light volume. Check out the volume down here. They suck you in on the big volume spike, and this is what we call a bull trap. People got in on this day. They had major dilution, sold lots of shares. Whenever you see this black candle form, you want to go to the sidelines if you're a bull, especially when it forms above the upper Bollinger Band. We put that warning out all the time, and this is the perfect reason why. It works sideways, and then now it's just been down, 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 down. And so what we're looking for now, it did close above EMA's 4 and 8, and that's why I'm posting this chart. And if it can close above EMA 13, currently at 32, that would be a signal that's really heating up. So keep an eye on it. And then if it does get above 35, the middle Bollinger Band, that's when some it could really get moving. So 32 and 35 are two big levels. Keep an eye on it. Okay, let's look at HTGM. Okay, so this made a nice intraday move today. It still had a nice close, but it was kind of disappointing that it didn't close above resistance. It did close up 18% today. Fasto and RSI are both in the bull zone with room to run until overbought levels. Check out the bull cross there with plus DI crossing ADX to the upside, the green line crossing the black line. And so, yeah, this was a nice intraday move when it was above this candle right here, which is the closing price on the 25th of January. It needed to close above that level for the signal that wants to head higher. It's always the close above high close horizontal resistance that signals, that the stock wants to keep going. If it fails to close above, like this red candle right here, it signals consolidation. The algorithms are set up to give you these signals, and if we can just follow the patterns, that's how you can profit. And so, by pulling back and not closing above this key resistance level, that is signaling that it could possibly be a temporary top. And so, going forward above this line, this red line signals it wants to head higher. Fail to break that line, signals consolidation. As long as it holds that middle Bollinger Band, currently at 363, a new uptrend could begin. It's really in a sideways channel here. It broke below here, but since this big candle right here, it's pretty much been trading sideways, and now it's at the top of the channel. So is it going to break out and head to the next level, or is it going to, after double top here at the top of the channel and pull back down and test the bottom of the channel? So we'll see. It had the big volume today. The question is, will it follow through? Nice bullish crossover on the 8, 13, and 5 MACD. Okay, take a look at the weekly chart for HTGM. You can see here that after making this double bottom down here in 2017, it made a nice move, and it got above the 50 and 100 week moving averages, and so it's been riding EMA's 4 and 8 support higher. It has a really nice uptrend going on the weekly chart right now, and it is trading above the moving averages, and so it's strong. What we want to see now is a close above this white candle right here. That's the high close resistance level to break from the high close in January, and if it can close above that, that should signal it wants to head higher, and this $5 level will be on deck. Okay, take a look at MNKD here. Typical Mankind day here. It had a nice start to the day, and then it sold off. That's what happens every time with Mankind. It's basically a bull trap. They're diluting so hard that any rally they're using that to dump shares. And so just keep that in mind if you're trading Mankind and you're on the bull side. That the rallies, you have to take profits on the rallies because they sell them off every freaking time. And so yeah, or you short the top of the rally. If you're trading the puts. And so yeah, look here at the Mankind here on our side. It's above 50 on our side, so that's good. It's at 52. It needs to stay above 50 for the chart to signal that it's bullish. Down here in Fasto, it needs to get above 20. There was a bullish crossover on ADX with plus DI crossing minus DI, and so today it was the bullish technical development that we were looking for. We'd been looking for a close above this dotted purple line and the green line, the middle Bollinger Band, which is also the 20-day simple moving average, and the 50-day simple moving average. And today that did happen. So that is a bullish technical development, and that does signal upside potential, and that is what we wanted to see. But what we didn't want to see was this upper wick here. This upper wick here, this is what dilution looks like on the chart. This is a really nasty dilution day here. But all these upper wicks on all these candles, this is dumping. The company is just dumping shares like crazy, and that's diluting shareholder value. If you're somebody that's a longer term holder, once they turn the freaking faucet off, that's when this thing can get moving. And so basically, it has to stay above the 50-day simple moving average. Above 269, that signals it's in play and that it has upside potential. If it drops below that, that signals more MNKD BS and more consolidation. And so basically, if it stays above that level, the next target is this 300-day simple moving average at 307. If it can get above 307, that's going to signal it wants to head higher, and that's when you can see these previous levels tested. It hit that zone today and pulled back. And so yeah, hold 270, $3 is on deck. Okay, so you know it's really heating up here. You've got the MACD starting a bullish crossover on the 12.26 and 9, and there's a bullish crossover on the 8.13 and 5. So you know a lot of technical developments on here. It just needs to follow through. If you look at the 15-minute chart for Mankind, you'll see here the you know what happened. It started on the 9th, way down here in the 240s, and it ran straight up to $3. I mean, that was a huge parabolic move, and then it pulled back here. It almost has an Eiffel Tower type of pattern to it. You know, when you have a steep parabolic move like that, they're followed by, you know, Fibonacci retraces. You're going to get a retrace off of that. It's an unsustainable move. It was too parabolic. It pulled back. Now the question is, does it you know, break down further and retest these previous levels, or is it going to break out higher? And so only time will tell on that. It needs to hold key support levels. It's really going to come down to this 50 simple moving average now at 269, and notice how 269 is the same key level on this chart, and so it has to stay above 269. Break below 269 and it's just going to signal that it's not ready to go. It does have the 50, 100, and 300 simple moving averages just below, so 260 is a major support level. The problem is it broke below the middle Bollinger Band here today, and that did signal more downside risk. You know, when this candle formed at 115, you know, it turned the middle Bollinger Band into resistance, and the bears were clearly in control. Notice how they shorted the top here and drove it straight down. And so yeah, we're going to be looking to see if it can bounce and get back above that middle Bollinger Band. And one last one to leave you with is ZSAN. It's a thinly traded stock. It did close up 19% today. Keep an eye on it for RSI above 30 and FASTO above 20. Down here, it closed above EMA 4. That's the pink line here. That's the first close above this level since back here in January. And you know, the last time it was bullish was back here in December. So if it can get above EMA 8 at 508, it could continue heading higher. There was a PSAR bull flip today. Notice that the green dots flip below the candles for the first time since this big nasty downtrend. So this is a dead cat bounce. Just have to see it follow through. The only problem is that it's a very thinly traded stock, so it could be difficult to trade. Okay, thank you very much for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, check us out. Check out our chat, please. I'll post the link below the YouTube video. Thank you.